What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader out here in Dubai. First video. Sorry I did not upload a video yesterday, but I was fighting jet lag. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. In this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 stocks that I'm looking at right now. These are undervalued stocks as we try and navigate the choppy markets. We're digging through the mud, looking for every opportunity, and honestly, it's been a very successful June to say the least. So as usual, we will start with a brief market update. I'll give you a very short update on the current plays that we're in, and then we'll get into the top 5 stocks to buy right now. You'll definitely want to stick around to the end. If you get anything out of this video, leave it a big fat thumbs up just like this. Leave it in the comment section below. Let me know which one of these stocks you are in, whether you agree or disagree. Also, very important, follow me on Instagram and or YouTube stories if you want to see my travel updates. I don't post travel videos to the finance channel. I tried that before. The mix doesn't really work. So for now, all of my travel updates are relegated to the stories on IG and on YouTube, sometimes on Twitter as well. So follow me in all the socials. Links are in the description. Let's get right into it. All right, the most important thing for this week as it relates to the market, especially during a slow earnings week, is that Jay Powell is on the hot seat again. He's mostly expected to talk about the COVID pandemic and how the economy is recovering. Obviously, he's going to be asked questions about interest rates again, even though there was a Fed meeting just last week. I really don't expect any extreme messaging or any sort of surprise here, so I don't think that the market is really going to react heavily to whatever he says today. As I said in my live stream on Friday after the Fed meeting, the market actually digested this rather well, and we are seeing the market knocking on heaven's door once again. Now, it is having a choppy time up here, but we are still at near all-time highs, right? So choppy here, we have to take that with a grain of salt. We are just basically bouncing around a tight range. As I said before, I do expect a July breakout, not only because July is historically one of the best months for trading stocks, but also there tends to be a lot of exuberance around American holidays, and what is more American than July 4th, as well as further reopening from the COVID pandemic, and then obviously leading into major earnings announcements. Now, we bought calls on the VIX, a really small position just as a hedge in case there is something that Jay Powell says that the market doesn't like. Such as, one thing that he could say is that, hey, we're thinking of raising rates sooner than we thought, or we're thinking of tapering sooner than we thought. Then you might see a jolt in the market at least midday, and the market might turn upside down. Who knows? But this is just a hedge. This is not a main position. All right, so that is the brief update. Let's talk about some of the current plays from previous videos that I did. You guys know that we bought Peloton on the overreaction here at the 300-day moving average. It is cracking today, up almost 7%, hitting 115 bucks. I said Netflix was undervalued. Sitting here at the bottom of this channel, it is now above 500 again. We're up 21% on our call spread. And by the way, if you want access to all of these trades, link is in the description below. I send out each and every single one of these, whether we're talking about stocks or options, even futures from time to time, crypto, obviously, even though crypto is another story. Taking a look at Ocugen, we had a massive 13% day yesterday, down a little bit today, almost 5%. I still like the trading range that it's in. But as I said, this one is a little bit more riskier. You do want to have a stop limit. Wish, absolutely murdering, up 21% in the last 4 days. Down a little bit today, 3%, but you know, small pullback so far. Also up 60% on our Wish call spread as well. And we did buy calls on GLD, which are now down. These were actually up yesterday because GLD had a green day. GLD has a red day today, and so we are actually down on those calls. I might leave those open, or I will trade those calls for actual GLD shares because I like where GLD is at in the 160s, especially as we are looking to fight inflation in the future. And gold is seen as an inflation hedge. Gold obviously hit a high of 194 this year. Sorry, that was the end of last year. However, I don't mind GLD in the 160s, but I might rotate those calls out for shares. Who knows? But we are down on those calls so far. All right, that's just a little bit of an update now, the moment that most of you probably came for, the top 5 stocks that I'm looking at right now that I think are undervalued. Again, we are pulling these out of nowhere. I don't know how many top stocks videos I can do, but these stocks just keep on ripping. So here's a batch of 5 new stocks to look at that I think are undervalued. Stock number 1, XLF. XLF and XLE have been absolutely killing it for us from 2020 up until now. Now, both of these are basically S&P based ETFs. XLF specifically isolates the financial sector of the S&P 500. And after the Fed meeting last week, after the market interpreted the inflation as transitory and reiterated that they weren't raising rates, well, the bank stocks took a hit. They were due for a correction anyway, but they take a hit because banks actually benefit from raised rates. When rates stay the same or fall, then bank stocks tend to fall. So XLF sitting here at the 100-day moving average, oversold on the RSI. This is a long-term play for the long-term portfolio. This is just like holding a mutual fund or an index-based fund, but this is specifically the financial sector of the S&P 500. Happy to buy it at the 100-day moving average for the very long term. Would average down on this, on a stock like this as well, or an ETF like this. All right, stock number 2 is Nike. We have an options play on Nike as well. You see the three green soldiers on Nike here bouncing off the bottom of this channel beautifully. Nike is actually reporting earnings this week, oversold for the first time since when? Since before the pandemic. I don't remember the last time Nike was oversold on the RSI. You have to go back to to 2017. So that is a very rare occurrence for Nike. When you see it oversold along with some of the other indicators, it is likely a good time to buy it. But bouncing off of this channel, oversold here. MACD looks like it's turning bullish, and there are earnings this week. Nike has a habit of killing its earnings each and every time. Now, buying something right before earnings could be precarious. So if you are a risk-averse investor, you will want to wait until earnings. See if Nike can retest the bottom of this channel once again, or maybe even fall to the 300-day moving average at around 122 before buying. If you are more of a risky trader, risky investor, then you won't mind starting a position on Nike here right before earnings. Either way, Nike's upside is at the $150 per share mark. This is also considered a reopening play since sports are a huge part of the reopening. And as kids and students, etc., get back to playing sports, they're going to need a lot more sports equipment, shoes, jerseys, etc. So it is definitely a reopening play. All right, stock number 3. Let us look at Nouveau Monde. We've been trading this, if you guys are a fan of this channel, since 2020, back when this was a penny stock below $1. It did a 1-for-10 split, which is actually a reverse split. We are now trading at just below $8. As long as NMG is above the 300-day moving average, which is currently around $6.80. I like a move here. You see the green volume bars on NMG. These 2 days here, this is unprecedented volume for NMG. Moreover, from a fundamental standpoint, they just signed an agreement with Caterpillar. Through this agreement, Caterpillar would become the exclusive supplier of an all-electric mining fleet for deployment at the Matawinie mine by 2028. As you know, Nouveau Monde, their goal is to be a zero carbon mining site, and they solicited the help of Caterpillar, a huge company, to help get that goal achieved. Caterpillar, also a great stock at this price in my opinion, but that is another story. All right, stock number 3 is Home Depot. Home Depot hit a high of $345 earlier this year, and we saw it tank all the way down, almost 14% drop to the 100-day moving average. And we were wondering, when is Home Depot going to find support? It kept dropping and dropping. I almost pulled the trigger at the 50 MA, by the way. But you see these 3 green soldiers here. You see the volume coming in. MACD just turned positive. Oversold for the first time since before the pandemic. Now, this is a long-term play. Be prepared to dollar cost average, but finding support here at a 14% drop from highs. Home Depot, a major blue chip company, a stock that pays a nice dividend, that always beats earnings, is profitable, etc. I don't mind dollar cost averaging into Home Depot around this range. Now, we bought Home Depot a long time ago, back in 2020, when it was still trading in the hundreds. So in full disclosure, I'm personally not adding to my position, but this is for somebody who does not yet have exposure to Home Depot. All right, and stock number 5 is Boeing, BA. Boeing is following the strict trend line here. Boeing was a stock that was trading in almost the $400 range not that long ago. And obviously it is a reopening play. All of the plane orders are currently halted, not only due to supply chain issues, but because travel is not 100% back yet. However, another company that pays a dividend, another company that before the pandemic was routinely beating earnings, a company that has a plethora of government contracts, it was trading near the 400 range, as I said before. I have no doubt that Boeing can get back to that range in the long term. This is a long-term play, not a swing trade. Don't at me a week later saying, hey, Boeing is still trading at 240. No, we're talking about undervalued plays for the long term. All right, and as you guys know, I like to give you guys a little bonus. I'm looking at Vertex calls here. Vertex, the pharmaceutical company that formed this huge head and shoulders pattern, confirmed it, dropped, and is now finding support here. Basically, I think their price drop was an overreaction, and I think that YOLOing calls here might be very lucrative. Obviously, position size accordingly. Do your own DD, look at Vertex on your own, but I'm looking at potentially buying calls on Vertex. The trade desk is one that I called out already in a previous video. It already did its split. It is up 5% today. As I said, it might see a retracement after the split, but I don't expect the retracement to be heavy because it already tanked before it split. It is not the same as when Tesla and Apple went through their splits. They were already rocket shipping towards that split, which is not the case with TTD. TTD fell from the $1,000 range all the way down to the less than $500 range before the split. So I did think that we'd see some choppiness after the split. Right now, that is not the case. It is still rocket shipping. We hold a large amount of TTD in our portfolio. We bought it below the $500 range. It is now trading at $64 after the 10 for 1 split. For sure, this is a dollar cost averaging candidate, and I think TTD will get to $100 in the mid to long term. And Nvidia is just absolutely beasting it for us. I mean, this stock will not stop. It's like Shopify, another stock that's killing it for us. But Nvidia might actually hit the 8 to 850 range before the split. Who knows? The split is not until July. We have so much time until the split happens that we might mess around and hit 850. I think it just got a $900 price upgrade from, I want to say Morgan Stanley. I could be wrong on the bank's name, but keep your eye on Nvidia as well. Anyway, traders, that is it for this video. Quick little update from Dubai. I will be hitting you guys with more videos. I will be trying to live stream from here. I don't know whether the bandwidth can handle it. The bandwidth back home in California where I live is superior compared to the place that I'm staying in now. So I will be trying to do a live stream. If it doesn't work out, don't hold it against me. Subscribe to the channel. If you want access to all of the trade alerts, link is in the description below. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which one of these stocks you were trading, or if you have a question on a specific stock or options play. If you want to learn how to trade options, there is a beautiful course. You will find the link below. I put 100 hours into it. I think you'll get benefit out of it. But if not, you can always learn this stuff on your own for free. Appreciate your guys' viewership. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.